Hey, it's Ashley, and I am live on Western Fashion behind the scenes with my friend Erin Enderlin. She is someone I've known for 10 years. I met her in Pennsylvania, and maybe in 3 days, she's going to be on the Opry stage. And I'm
Yes.
so excited. Welcome, Erin.
It's so good to be here with you, Ashley.
Yes, nice to see you.
It's always I feel like the universe just brings our paths together.
Yeah, it's weird. There's a lot of people I meet, and I only meet them one time. But for some reason, I think this is our fifth or sixth time running into each other
Mhm.
over the course of 10 years. Tell us what you do and where you're at.
So, I'm a singer-songwriter, and I'm from Arkansas originally, but I live in Nashville now, and I just like making up stuff.
You're just a creative girl. You know the girl with the blonde hair that makes up funny songs in Nashville? Do you know who I'm talking
I don't
about?
know if I do.
I gotta show you her on
Okay.
TikTok. Okay. She's gotten really famous because she makes funny jingles up for
I
people.
love it.
She's very, but I want you to work with her because you gotta write some jingles about cowgirl boots.
Yes.
Okay. Tell us you have an album out right now.
Yep, I've got an album out called Barroom Mirrors, and it's a bunch of different characters in one night, one barroom, all drinking for different reasons.
Okay, I like this.
Yeah. Mhm.
And anyone can get it anywhere.
Yeah, you can stream it anywhere you do that, iTunes, or you can buy it hard copies and vinyl off of my website.
Okay, perfect. Have you been playing music your whole life?
Pretty much. Yeah, and I was definitely that weird kid that I started writing songs when I was 10 years old and I would bring them into my music class and share them. And then it just took off from there and I started playing out in high school and moved to Nashville and was lucky enough not too long after I was there to have Alan Jackson record one of my songs with Patty Loveless and put it out as a single and changed my life. And then I've just gotten to keep making up stuff.
Which single is it?
It's called Monday Morning Church.
Yeah. Okay. So Alan Jackson, how long were you in Nashville before Alan Jackson did that?
He cut it during spring break during my senior year of college,
Which was what year?
2004.
Oh my gosh, that's the year I graduated high school. Okay, great. 2004, Alan Jackson cuts your song and your life changes. How does it work in Nashville? Can you tell us behind the scenes ish?
Yeah, I wrote that song several years before that, and I had been playing around town, and that's actually the song that got me hooked up with my first publisher. And publishers, they basically it's like a book publisher too, but for song publishers, they take part of the ownership of the song and they pay to get it demoed and they pitch it around to people, which means they go play it for sometimes artist producers, sometimes record label. And with that particular song, it had been on hold for a couple of different artists. And Keith Stegall, Alan's producer, he had it on hold for somebody else, but they weren't really sure what the cutting time was or anything when they were going to record their next album. And he went out to lunch with Alan one day and said, I want to play the song when I get back to the office. And Alan loved it. And so he got the first dibs on it and cut it.
Someone cuts your song. The person who was taking it around, he gets part of the music royalty.
Yep.
And then it's a lifetime royalty.
Yep.
And so, how does the royalty work? Give us some like
Oh, man.
rough figures, not yours specifically, but just for someone that was understanding it. So
Yeah.
let's say the royalty was $100,000 a year, or I don't even know how it works.
It's interesting because it makes money depending on if it's on the radio, which is the radios where you want to be, satellite radio.
No, I don't know the radio's where I want to be. So tell me about this.
Oh, that's where you make your sweet money as a songwriter. And the government actually sets the rate of pay for
if you can see my face right now,
songwriters.
we don't have the recording on, but my face would be my jaws on the ground.
It's-
The government sets the
It's
rate.
really strange. In the beginning, it was a good thing because record labels and radio weren't paying songwriters anything. But then they got involved in it's a little crazy to me. I've gotten to go up to Washington and play for a couple of the senators and folks up there and tell them what I do, but it's a weird system because for the most part we have people setting rates for our pay that don't really understand what we do.
Oh my gosh, please
Oh,
explain
that's
it
a
to
whole
me
other
more.
thing.
Wait, though, I need to understand it. I know but Western fashion behind the scenes is really about talking about what people don't understand. I'm
Yeah.
a little Joe Roganish on this subject, on any subject,
I mean,
because I'm curious. So
I just don't want to speak out of
give me
turn
a
because it's been a
dollar
little while since
that
I think right now for radio it's something like 9 cents a spin or something like that.
so 9
And
cents every
songs
time
have
you
a
hear.
watermark now. Basically, what that means is that there's a digital watermark. So every time it plays on the radio, it can catalog it very easily because it just alerts the system.
AI.
I don't know.
It is an intelligence that
Sure.
knows. It knows and it goes, okay. It's Erin's song Monday Morning Church with Alan Jackson played
Yeah.
65,000 times today across country radio in America. I don't know if that's realistic or not, but
Yeah, I'm not really sure either, but, for, like, how like, I don't know, there's less reporting radio stations than you would think. I think it's only 200 or less. I don't remember all the formulas for how they do the charts and things, but,
this is curious to
yeah,
me.
and now they add in all this other stuff too between YouTube and, other social media and radio and satellite radio, and then there's a whole different thing with if you get a song in a movie or on TV or commercial, and also for, like, musicals on Broadway and stuff, so there's a lot of different caveats for how royalties are earned
That's
on
very
songs.
interesting. But you have a lifetime royalty. You'll stay with that company.
Unless you sell your writer's portion, which is not very common. It's a little confusing with songs. They talk about them like they're 200%, 100% of the writer's portion and 100% of the publisher's portion.
Okay.
Depending on if you have a deal, what your deal structure, that all depends on what part of the
40, 60, who knows what it is.
Yeah, and for radio, as a writer, you get that money directly. We have performing rights organizations that collect all that, and we get that directly. We don't recoup off that or anything else. Because most of the time when you're a writer, when I talk about recoupment, if you have a publishing deal, they usually give you an advance yearly, which is like your salary, and they pay for demos, and usually half of that is recoupable. So you have different expenses that are recoupable out of the royalties you make, depending on how your deal is set up. And so there's just like a lot. It's a
No,
lot
it's
of
interesting though. That gives a lot of clarity
parts.
for someone. If someone had a song and they wanted to go to Nashville and figure out how to get it cut,
Mhm.
it's a very intricate system, and you have
Yeah.
to be in the right place at the right time.
People have a lot of different opportunities now too with TikTok and YouTube and all kinds of other things you can get exposure for your songs, and something can turn into a hit.
Are you encouraging people to keep going after their dreams?
Oh yeah, I think if you really love something and it makes you happy, you can be doing anything in life, and if you can't find happiness, what does it matter? You have one life, so if something makes you happy, and it doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but you just keep doing it and just find the joy in it.
Yeah, we were talking last night. Erin played at the Cody Auditorium last night for the Cody Songwriters Festival,
Mhm.
and I watched her play, and she played with two other gentlemen, and they were incredible because they are the people who have the immediate connection with the song, right? They wrote the song. They are the person who had all the emotions and the feelings that make people listen to these songs. So it's really intriguing. Is there any music that you've written? I just want that's a compliment for you. Just you're
Thank
really
you.
people should want to come and watch you. Are you going to be in Whitefish, Montana soon? Tell
Yeah,
me.
next week. Next I think the actual festival will get going next Wednesday, and so that'll be the 13th. And the 14th, 15th, 16th, they'll be having shows and everything going on.
Okay.
And you can find it online. Just
Okay.
search for the Whitefish Songwriter Festival.
Okay, perfect. And you're gonna be at the Opry this week. Uh-huh. And who are you
Tuesday.
playing with?
I'll be doing my own thing. It's a celebration of Johnny Cash's life, and for this particular show, because it's 20 years since his passing. And so I'll be doing that, and then I'm going to sing a duet with William Beckman, who I haven't met yet, but I really love the stuff of his that I've heard, and it's going to be an awesome night. Jamie Johnson and Rodney Crowell and lots of other folks
Jamie
are gonna be
Johnson's my
there.
favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
like
really
him.
like him. Wow. Yeah, yeah. Interesting. So what would you say is something that people don't know about you?
There's probably a lot of things people don't know about me.
I think you're pretty introverted. I would say you're not this socially, you're not extremely extroverted,
Yeah,
right?
I'm an introverted extrovert, so it's funny because I get up in front of sometimes thousands of people and play songs, and that's fine. But yeah, I definitely like to have my recharge time. I'm real. I love being a nerd, and I love country music history stuff, which obviously has ties to music, but it's a little different to get into. And so
Yeah,
I love that.
what's one of your favorite stories about country music history? Who has inspired you to be where you're at?
Man, there's been so many. Willie Nelson was one of my first records. Reba McEntire is a huge influence of mine. Susie Boggess, Terry Clark, Matresa Berg, Gretchen Peters, who's playing at the festival next week. My first picture on the front of my hometown paper was singing a Gretchen Peters song.
Really?
Yeah.
Amazing. Now you're playing with her. How
So
amazing.
that's going to be awesome. And let's see, a good history. It's just really interesting. I've been able to be a part of a documentary they're doing on Cindy Walker, who is an incredible songwriter. It's insane the stuff she's written. And uh she's from Texas, from Mahia, Texas. And when she was in her early 20s, her parents were taking a business trip out to California, and she asked if she could go along. And she convinced them to stop by uh, Bing Crosby's offices and went in. She wanted to play him a song. And she found his brother and he listened to his song and he demoed it the next day and Bing cut it. And she's had 300 songs recorded. Probably her most well known is You Don't Know Me, that she did with Eddie Arnold. And it's just been really interesting. She's a really interesting character, but there's stuff like that I just love it. I love all the stories behind things.
I think we don't know these stories. I think that people see the facade of like certain people, but the reality is there's a whole anthill underneath of amazing people working every single day. There's tons of songwriters right around here that live around Jackson and Cody and this area. Are you planning after your Whitefish? When is your next trip out west?
I'm going to be in Red Lodge later this month on the 23rd, I believe. Yeah. And then I don't have a next trip planned out here, but I definitely want to get out here again. I'm going to be playing in California, Nevada, and Arizona in February. So you never know. There might be some stuff added around there.
Yeah. And are you doing the National Finals Rodeo? I know we talked about it a little, but not yet. You don't have
Not
plans
yet
for that yet.
But I know that there's been some talk. So we'll see if I can't worm my way in there.
For sure. I'm excited. I'll be there the whole time. So hopefully maybe you'll come play in the suite at the Virgin. We have a suite at the Virgin. The Boot Babes are going to have entertainers and things like this coming in and out. So I'm excited that we got to know you today. We're going to catch up with you later down the road.
Excellent.
I want to share, we've been boot swapping, I guess is a better way to put it. I give Erin boots every time I see her because A, she gets to wear them on stage, but B, she's written songs about boots. She loves boots.
Well, I've written songs about the boots you've given me.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. When I first met up with you, I got a pair of boots and did just a lot of cool stuff in them. Got to play the Opry in them. And
was it your first Opry?
That was not my first Opry, but my first Opry, and then the next 23, there was a span in between.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they got me back into
great. I love
real
this. Magic boots.
Into the Opry. Yeah, magic boots. And they did all kinds of stuff. I got, wrote songs in them, traveled all over, even in New York. I played in Times Square in them. And then when those boots wore out, I randomly, right as they were wearing out, I ran into you again. And those boots went with me to go on and do great stuff. And then they actually ended up in the Country Music Hall of Fame in a exhibit I had back in 2020 there. And they asked if they could keep them for their permanent collection.
Yeah. Yay, we put boots in the Country Music Hall of Fame together.
Our boots are part of the country music legacy.
Your feet are in there. Yay! That's amazing. And so now today she got 2 more new pair.
Yeah, so I got to make some new memories, impressive memories in these.
I'm excited. Thanks for being here, Erin.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, this is Ashley at Western Fashion Behind the Scenes. You've got to know Erin Enderlin today. If you want to see Erin Enderlin, how do they find you?
You can find me on any of the social medias. I have a website, erinenderlin.com, ErinEnderlin. Or you can search Monday Morning Church and it'll tell you how to spell my last name.
Yeah. Monday Morning Church on YouTube. This is Ashley, Western Fashion Behind the Scenes. Have a great day.